Hello, guys. This is JRTV over here in my office space, quote unquote. It's not actually mine, but I get to make use of it, and it's helpful to have one computer screen with my notes, another for some music. And I'm going to be discussing, what's the deal with pornography and its interplay in society, and want to make a hit uh, note on also erotic dancers, strippers. Um, but as always, start off with a little reminder of you and your dream mate. If you believe in that, it's what allows one to transcend envy and concern, uncertainty, and fear. Because when you're actively pursuing love, intentionally saying, "These are my dreams, and this is my future dream mate," or my current, then it'll allow you to not want that for other people, that you'll want them to have a dream mate as well. And if it's anything else, it's just like on pornography where it's prostitutes, and they may not be promiscuous. It may be that they don't like to be promiscuous, or if you will, slutty, or um, like a whore, but because sometimes it's because people need money. But and there are varying degrees of it. But at the end of the day, it's just black and white. It's either you're for your dream mate or you're not. Because if you're with someone and they're not your dream mate, then you're neglecting yourself and your dreams. And and so there are lots of scenarios and fantasies that play out in pornography, and obviously it'd be preferable if the participants were actually a married couple that played out these fun scenes, such as the maid comes in, or the whatever teacher, or pretending to be cheating on spouses. It's fun little dramas that play off they're entertaining, but in actual real life, obviously it's only uh, the love of marriage. Like a stripper, I think, should be a married person who is there's no sexual tension as to whether that person might want to be more than just showing off their body to me. You know the the deal is with porn is it's the prostitute paradox applies, where you you want to seduce somebody with your body, and if you don't respect them. But if you care about and respect them, you don't do that to them. You don't. And that's the paradox to be aware of. And there are different types of porn. I think it's best when either the guy holds the camera, who's actually the participant with the woman, um, because then it's it's more realistic. It's not like there's somebody else around, and the woman can say things like another thing to consider is that it's not like a critical or necessary thing to have bigger features like penis size, breast size. What's more important is to have the sensuality of it, and that is and by the way, this is important in the sense that you know you only want to be with somebody who has a mutual physical attraction to you. All right, and and the implication being that it's not just different variations on size, body type, body shape, sex organ appearance. There's so many variables, and this idea of it's just if something is larger, then it's more appealing, is an inaccurate portrayal. Um, there are different nipples, different obviously appearances of, vagina or penis, right? And that's to be, expressed by the person. Like the woman, for example, could say, you have a nice, like, whatever, penis head, or it looks good, or it's attractive or beautiful. And obviously women want to hear this about their vagina, so men want to receive compliments about their penis, right? And there could be scenes that play this out, like for example, a maid, right, for instance, might come in and knock, and then they accidentally come in, and the guy's jerking off holding the camera, and then the maid says, you know like, wow, you have a nice dick. And then she comes over, and then maybe retracts her position, like, oh, I can't be caught. That's a kind of a fun idea, right, for a scene. um, but like I was saying, there's so many variables in aesthetics. And guys, always recommend in general that I don't think, I think it's feminine to want to show off your body or want compliments for your body, in a way. You know what I mean? So really, I think it's the masculine confidence that compliments the woman. And on a side note, I don't think in society women should show any cleavage, or men should have a tight pants and show any, like, bulge in the crotch area. It just, but there is something that I do recommend, in particular. It's this idea of women kind of, um, you know wearing revealing clothing in the sex organ region, the vagina region. I think society can have a sort of celebration of the vagina. That's another one of my themes in my life. Um, but the point here is this idea of pornography. Um, you want to diversify your masturbation time. Sometimes maybe watch porn. Sometimes, you know view pictures of nude pictures. Sometimes, I think the best quality of time is actually fantasizing about people that you might see throughout the day, that you have a sense of a mutual attraction with. Um, Another thing to be aware of is is this idea that, what keeps people together. You might think that, oh, I wish I had a different body or sex organs. Guess what? What keeps people together is their dreams. And although they might not be as compatible as preferred, by the way, the implication being that it's just as relevant, the woman's vagina size, as men's penis size. And I think there's been an antisocial push to talk about, like, breast size or penis size, when it's really not a socially acceptable thing, in my view, to be bringing to humor or anything. It's a sacred thing. Physical. You know, it's like people's personal lives. You know. Let's see here. So, where am I going with this? Did I mention the idea that I think stripper dancers should be married, because then there won't be any sexual tension between the viewing audience and the dancers. And this actually this actually about wraps it up. I mean, this idea of pornography is to be entertained, and if people could do it in a more, just married couples doing it, and then, you know, producing, producing interesting content. It's human. It's human. It is human to celebrate sexuality, but we have to do it in a careful way, such that we won't offend other people and won't, seduce or be in the darkness of it. Let it distract or consume us. Like this idea that when you watch pornography, you might think, and then there are these ads, associated advertisements that are talking about, penis size or have a you know, quick promiscuous activity. There's these websites, right? That's not, has nothing to do with love. It has to do with body shaming and desperate acts. It's an act of desperation. Rich, if you truly think you're rich and respect your body, and respect your dream mate. Sometimes we're having a hard time in life, and we don't have a we can't see for ourselves. We can't see that, oh, I should keep going and pursue my dreams. Instead, you have to think of it through the eyes of your dream mate. Think about, oh well, if he or she was watching me right now, what would she want? And make a romanticize that idea. And let that transcend you from any fear of, I wish I had a different body or sex organs or anything to that effect. The idea of, like, for example, black guys have a bigger dick. That, you know, whatever is true or is not true, it's more important what happens in the real world. And in the real world and society, people interact and they see each other, and they don't think about things like that. They think about, oh, are you a nice person or not? And it's, of course, it's good to bring up these, size of vagina, size of penis, when you are talking. Actually, I recommend via email. That way you won't accidentally seduce each other beforehand. But the whole idea of romance, and intimacy, it's meant to be exclusively for married people. And why do I keep going on about this DreamMate and all this idea? It's because that's your energy. That's your soul. That's your truth. That's what your life. And so when you're out in public, you're not thinking about stuff like I was saying, penis or vagina size. You're thinking about people and wanting good for them. And so let's separate our personal and public lives, right? And let us, I want you to be in such a strong position. This is the position I want you to be in, where you know you absolutely want to never concern yourself with somebody. Will somebody find my attractive? That's a hoping or a wishing, a fear-based emotion. you know Only want somebody who finds you attractive. Insist on it. you know and and so that's the whole pornography thing. It's it kind of it just to be aware of these little details, and have an understanding that if some people want a certain body type or appear, or attributes, then good, fine for them. And if you want it, then great. And maybe because of the whatever the nature of your body is, you won't be able to attract what you think is, ideal or perfect for a body type. But we're improving that, guys. See this next to me? This is the world. This is where we live. And we're improving this world, specifically the human body, by instead of having children, you can invest in somebody else's children, a couple whose bodies you find attractive, and in turn, they will have grandchildren who could be you in your next incarnation in 100 years. Those grandchildren could be you. But the point is we're working together, as a team here, collaborating, not competing. If somebody wants a certain body type or sex organs or whatever, great, good for them. Don't want all these people and all these, like, you wouldn't even want to be these people in these, pornography, activities. These are people who are, you know, engaging in activity with somebody they don't love. So it's devoid of love uh, in most cases. So just be cognizant of that. Obviously, we can be entertained by even if the person's not. And then, are we paying for it? Well, there are advertisements now on pornography, just like on YouTube. So maybe by watching it, it's paying for, because the advertisers will only advertise if will pay the studio to porn studio to advertise if they have a lot of um, hits, whatever. I'm just throwing out stuff to be cognizant of as we go towards a better world, which in part has to do not with all this technology that we have here and all these possibilities where it's easier for people to have a quality of life and actually have the luxury of being able to be intimate and have quality sexual activity. But is it really quality if it's not your dream mate? Because then I would say it's just a poor investment in memories that you don't want, and a commitment to somebody who you may or may not want in this life. So transcend all this physical realm. Do it with the DreamMate approach. The DreamMate, what would I call it? A lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of wearing a ring and telling people overtly, well, I like my dreams and I'm looking forward to my dream mate. You know, and so that's that. That's a well packed, I'd say, conversation. Thanks for tuning in. Aloha.